Hi, everybody. There we go. Yeah. Chameleon. The audio is a little choppy. Oh, okay. Well, I hope it gets better. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Something like that. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to our live stream this week. I was getting some, let me get my screen back on here. I was getting some requests coming through. So what is the name of the song I was just playing on Bari Sax? What's up, Eric? Hi, Ed. What's the name of the song? Yeah, Daniel got it. It's called Chameleon. Somebody else got it earlier in the stream. It's a jazz song written by Herbie Hancock. And it's a good one for, this is the Bari Sax. So Chameleon's a fun one on Bari Sax. And you can also play the bass line. So that's Chameleon. That's a really fun song on Bari Sax. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Sky, hello. We've got some questions. Why don't you ask me some Bari Sax questions, okay? The Bari Sax is twice as long, exactly twice as long as the alto sax. Where's my alto sax? Here it is. There it is. So here is my alto and the Bari. So if you stretched out these instruments so they didn't have any curves in, so they weren't bent at all, if you straighten them out, this one is exactly twice as long as this one, and they're both in the same key. So when you play the same note, they make the same sound, except this one, the Bari Sax, is an octave lower. There's a B on the, let's get both going here. Here's a B on, I'll play something on alto sax. I'll play B-A-G. Bari. So they play in the same key, the same notes. Any Bari Sax questions? We got, what's the highest note? The highest note on the Bari Sax is the same as all the saxophones. It's the high F, or if you have the F sharp key, it's the high F sharp. Here's the high F. And the F sharp, we press this little key right here, makes an F sharp. Oh. So, and the lowest note, which somebody might have asked, yeah, Jacques asked, what is the lowest note? The baritone sax is very cool. It has one extra lower note compared to all the other saxophones, because all the other saxophones can play down to a low B flat like this. But the baritone sax has an extra key right here. And if you press that key with the low B flat, you get a low A. So it sounds like this. Whoops. That's pretty low, huh? Bari Sax is a very cool instrument. Anyone out there play baritone sax? You can check in and let me know. Yahir wants to know, do I have a bass saxophone? I don't have one. Bass saxophones are really sweet. They are twice as big as a tenor sax. So they're even bigger than this, and they play even lower notes. Pretty crazy. Let's see. Any questions coming through?
What brand of Bari Sax do you have?
All right. This is actually not my baritone sax. This is the baritone sax of that belongs to our school, our high school. This is a Jupiter. I don't know if you can see that. This is a Jupiter Bari Sax. Other good Bari Saxes would be Selmer or Yamaha. There's some other great brands out there. So this is a Jupiter. J Series is asking, what are the huge buttons? You mean these? I think you probably mean these. These are the pads that cover the holes when you play your low notes on your sax. So we start with holes up here, B, A, G, F, E, D down here. And then when you add this, that's a low C right there. And then you have your low B. See it moving? Low B flat. Watch it move. Ready? It's going to move right here. Watch it move. Ready? Open, closed. And then here's the low A. Open, closed. So that's how you play the super low notes on the saxophone, on the baritone saxophone. So what I was doing on Chameleon is I was doing something called jazz or improvisation, and I was using a blues scale. I was using a minor pentatonic scale. Sounds like this. That's a great scale for improvising. So I just took that scale and I'm just playing around on those 5 notes. So and that sounds kind of cool if you do that along with the music like this. So that's a little jazz improv for you. What I wanted to do today, I'm going to do a little bit more Bari Sax. Why don't you guys all check in and let me know what instrument you play? Okay. Sky says, Sky is in the jazz band and plays the clarinet and plays Chameleon. So Sky, here's my clarinet. Since you play clarinet, I'll play this for you. You can play Chameleon on clarinet too. Okay, that's Chameleon on clarinet. I wanted to show you guys. So the whole reason I have my Bari Sax out today is if you checked out my last video, Or if you checked out my Instagram, where's my Instagram? Right here. So you follow me at, you see that? There it is. So Dr. Selfridge on Instagram. I did a saxophone transcription, meaning I copied down the notes of this video from the Tonight Show. This is Jack Black. Some people say I kind of look like Jack Black, which is kind of funny. But he's playing the saxoboom. So I figured out how to play that song on the baritone sax, which is why I have my baritone sax here at my house today. So this is, where did I put it? Here it is. So this is the baritone sax solo from that Jack Black video. If you go to my website, gobando.com, there's a link in the Jack Black saxophone video. You can download the music, the sheet music, to play that solo. So that's a lot of fun. Ranjoy said, I'm amazing. That's really nice. Thank you for saying that. So that's my latest Instagram post. Actually, it's not my latest Instagram post. That is one of my recent ones. I wanted to show you some of the cool things I did this week. It's on my Instagram. So we did, our high school band went to a band competition at a local high school. Well, sort of local. We had to drive like an hour, but it was a lot of fun. We saw a lot of students from other schools. And one of the cool things is I saw a bunch of my students from other schools that I know because we went to Europe together. I don't know if you watched any of my YouTube vlogs about my trip to Europe. So I meet a lot of students from other high schools on this trip. And so we took a nice picture together. We saw each other at the competition. That was a lot of fun. And then at the end of the competition, all the bands are performed and they bring all the drum majors out and they give out the awards. And it's a really great time. Our band did really well. We had a really great show. I just want to show you a little picture on my Instagram. These are my students posing with the trophy after the competition. So that was awesome. Why don't I answer some questions?
Ali wants to know if her clarinet gets wet during a performance, what can she do to dry it out?
If your clarinet gets wet, first, try not to let it get wet. The problem with a clarinet getting wet is, first of all, it's the pads of the clarinet. Any woodwind instrument that has pads, these little things under here that seal off the tone holes, you don't want those to get wet. What I would recommend is if it does get wet, I would not put it back in the instrument case until it's dry. So leave it out, use a towel it off as much as you can, get all the moisture that you can, and then make sure the pads are dried off before you put it away in the case. For brass instruments, it's not so much of a problem. You may have noticed if you're out in marching band, if it rains, it's kind of not too bad for brass instruments, but for woodwinds, you want to keep them dry, especially if you have a clarinet that's made out of wood. That's even more, you don't want to get it wet because that can affect the wood of your clarinet. Yes.
Yeah. Lavish Mouse wants to know, is it true that saxophones play better in the cold? You hear that one, Dr. Steve? I
never heard that one. And I don't think, the only thing that happens in cold weather is your instrument plays out of tune. It'll go flat. So if you're out especially if you're in marching band, if you're playing those outdoor shows in October and November and it's really freezing cold, your instruments are going to be flat because that's the way the cold weather affects our sound. But I don't think there's anything really that makes you better when you're out in the cold, as far as I know.
All right. Well, X Shifty says, can I get some help, please? I played Bari in a high school band, and somebody else wanted to know if you do play Bari in a high school band. So I guess the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
And can't play lower than a G. What do you have to say?
Okay. Someone's having trouble playing low notes on the saxophone, Bari Sax. Right. So if you're having problems with low notes, it's very common on the saxophone. There are, let's see, there's really two primary things it could be. Number one, it could possibly be a problem with your saxophone. So, and if it's a problem with your saxophone, like if the keys aren't working correctly or the pads aren't closing all the way, that's not your fault. That's the saxophone. So have your band director or someone check out your saxophone and make sure it's working properly. Now, if the saxophone is working properly and you're still having problems, it is an issue with your embouchure or your band face. So for saxophone embouchure, we say, oh, someone said, drop your jaw. Yeah, Alvaro, good job. That's correct. Drop your jaw. I sometimes, instead of using the phrase drop your jaw, because sometimes I think if you say drop your jaw, people go like this, right? It doesn't move that much. It's like, I think about slightly opening up the inside of your mouth a little bit, like you have a golf ball on your tongue. So you've got your regular embouchure, an O shape, bottom lip under the reed. But as you go down, you imagine a little ping pong ball on your tongue, and it's getting a little bit bigger as you're going down. And so your mouth is just opening a little bit. So if I don't do that, you'll hear my sound kind of go up an octave. Listen, I'm going to do it wrong on purpose. I'm too tight. I'm too closed. I'm going to open up. Okay. So there is how you do that. Any other questions coming through? What?
Clorox Wipes wants to know, can you play tuba?
Can I play the tuba? I can play the tuba okay. I'm better than the average fifth grader on tuba. But the thing about tuba is I know the fingers really well because the fingers are similar to all, trumpet and euphonium. But I have trouble with the embouchure because it's so hard. Well, it takes a lot of adjusting and practicing. So tuba, I'm okay. I'm so. Okay.
Dan Castro wants to know, how do you slap tongue on the alto sax?
Oh, you know what? Honestly, Dan, I haven't worked on slap tongue a whole lot. I could try to do it. I don't do it a whole lot, but here's an alto sax. It would be the same for any saxophone. So, it'd be like a sort of thing. Okay. I'm really not an expert on slap tonguing, but I'm sure you can find YouTube tutorials on how to slap tongue on the saxophone. But it's kind of like a sort of thing, that motion. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play. So I want to play this song. Actually, this is going to be a Name That Tune. All right. This is kind of a random song. I don't know if you guys are going to recognize this one. I don't want you to see it. I'm going to hide it. But I'm going to play this because one of my saxophone students really likes this song. Okay. So I'm going to play this for you guys. And this comes from one of my books where you can buy these books and you have the accompaniment that you can get online. It's really cool. So, well, there's a lot of great questions. Can you make sure you get some good questions written down? All right. I'm going to play this song on Bari Sax for you guys. And this goes back a few years. Let's see if you know this song. Anyone know this song yet? That's it. You guys recognize that song? Yeah, good. It's from Frozen. A lot of you got it. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I am going to answer some requests for you guys. I know some of you have been wanting me to play clarinet, so maybe I could do some clarinet stuff. Let's see. I'm done with YouTube said, why don't I use a rubber? I think you mean ligature. And I do actually, I use for clarinet, I have these Rovner ligatures, which I really like. And I use the same one for alto. I just don't have one for Bari Sax. I need to get one. So yeah, autocorrect, right? How often do I practice? You can throw me some requests and I'll try to play them for you. How often do I practice? What recommendations do I have to get into the habit? Grace Hernandez. I practice every day. Okay. So my biggest recommendation is that you get into a habit of practicing every day. The secret is just pick up your instrument. Even if you only have 10 minutes or 15 minutes, pick up your instrument and practice. Just pick one thing to work on, just one little part from a song or one scale. And it's a habit you have to get into. Let's see here.
Tips on breathing when playing the clarinet.
Tips on breathing when playing the clarinet. Here's a big one. This is for any woodwind, any clarinet, mouthpiece, saxophone, any woodwind instrument with a mouthpiece, not flute. When you breathe, you open the bottom part of your mouth, your jaw, leave your teeth on the mouthpiece. So I'm playing. I'm breathing through here. Never breathe through your nose. Breathe through your mouth and leave your teeth on top. That way you don't have to reset your embouchure every time. Reset your teeth. Let's see.
Brandon Nolan would like in the future if you could do a Beauty and the Beast alto Bari song tutorial.
Beauty and the Beast alto and Bari. Okay. I could do that. You mean the song Beauty and the Beast? Tale as old as time. I could play that one. I like that one. How about what should I play on clarinet, guys? Did anyone make a clarinet request? Whoa, Spain on clarinet. LR Music. That's a great request. I'd have to practice that one. I got to practice. That's a hard song.
Havana. Moaning on the Bari.
Oh. I'll do Havana on clarinet, okay? Because I have it right here.
Couple requests, yeah.
Havana, let's see. Havana is on my website. If you go to GoBando, you can get the play-along track. So you go to gobando.com, and here is, let's see here. I'm going to get here's the music. Ready? Yeah. That's it. All right, I'm going to start it again because I forgot what key it's in. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Here we go. 2. There's Havana's short version on clarinet. Mohammed wants to know where my marching mellophone is. It's back at school. I borrowed it for that one live stream, but then I brought it back to school. Miro 55 says play Seven Nation Army. I will do that. And actually, after this request, I'm going to play it on Bari Sax. Thank you. After this, because we're almost out of time, I said I was going to talk about the circle of fourths. So I'm going to talk about that real quick. Does anyone know what the circle of fourths is? I'm going to talk about it in a minute. All right, here we go. What am I doing? Seven Nation Army. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, little squeaky squeak. So I played that on A, C, A, G, F, E. You can see my fingers. And then F, E. So that's Seven Nation Army on baritone sax. Okay.
Dan Castro says sharps and flats is the circle of fourths.
Good. Yeah. All right. So there's a link in the description of this live stream. I want you to go to my website, gobando.com, and I'll just use this. Wait, where did I put it? Here it is. So can you guys see? It's kind of small on the screen, but the circle of fourths, okay? If you go to any of the major scale sheets that I have up on my website, that link down there, it's all the major scales, and they go in this sequence where you start at the top and you go around the circle, and all of your notes follow this pattern called the circle of fourths. So the first scale, if I played a G, then I would go one step over to C. One step from there would be F, a perfect fourth. That's a great way to practice your scales, is to go around the circle of fourths. So I recommend you download the scale sheet for your instrument. Go to the link below and practice your major scales. We are almost done, but someone asked me to play something on flute. Do you have a request about what I should play on the flute? Anyone? Someone asked that I play the flute. Oh, my assistant is handing me my flute. Let me answer this question. LR Music asked me, why am I calling it the circle of fourths instead of the circle of fifths? That is a great question. So the cool thing about the circle of fourths, I wish I could bring this closer to you. I think I might have it here. The cool thing about the circle of fourths is there it is. If you go one way around the circle, C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, it's fourths, perfect fourths. If you go the opposite direction, C, G, D, A, E, it's fifths. A lot of orchestra people like the circle of fifths. Sometimes in band, we learn the circle of fifths. I learned the circle of fourths. I learned it. It's really helpful when you're practicing jazz. So I kind of prefer to go the circle of fourths, but circle of fifths is fine. It's just reverse. Star Wars. Okay. Star Wars on flute. What's that? 1 minute? Okay. How does Star Wars go? That's it. Some people were requesting Mask Off on flute. I don't know how to play that song. I'm embarrassed to say that, but I can Google it. I'll learn how to play it for you, okay? So, unfortunately, folks, we are out of time for this week's live stream. I want to remind you all, if you can, first of all, thank you for tuning in. I love having a big group of people here. Let your friends know that Dr. Selfridge live stream happens every Sunday. And I'd love to have more people joining us. Right here, I know it's only 5:30, but we do basically a 30-minute live stream. Okay, but we'll be back next week. Right here is links to my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So follow me if you're on any of those platforms. I usually update cool things that are happening in my band activities on my Instagram at least once a week. So check it out. Thank you all for being here. And if I didn't answer your questions, please tune in next week and ask me some more questions. Thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.